Does anybody even know this movie is coming out or that this movie came out? I mean, not that it necessarily matters because it is another contender for at least my worst movies of the year list. But does anybody know this movie came out? I I don't. I can imagine it will probably only be in theaters for 2 weeks, if that. They might just take it out today. But let's just go ahead and get this out the way, guys. This is the killer game, the killer's game. Who cares? This movie sucks. Oh God. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and this is my review for The Killer's Game, starring Dave Bautista, Sofia Boutella, Palm Clementov, and we'll just say Ben Kingsley. And it was directed by J.J. Perry, and our story follows basically an assassin who, after some time, realizes that he is about to die soon, and he decides to put a contract out on himself, but then finds out that he actually got the wrong test results, so he actually just needs to cancel that contract, yet it's too late. So now it's basically him versus an entire world of assassins. And honestly, when I first read the premise for this movie, I thought it was going to be so much more interesting than what the trailer showed me. And then the movie came out, and I was even more disappointed. The premise sounded so good. The premise sounded like a lot of fun, and I really thought Dave Bautista in this role, I thought it was going to be more like, if anybody's ever seen Stuber, I don't know if anybody saw that movie with Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista, Stuber, but I thought it was going to be kind of as a movie similar to that, where it's just like straight comedic action vibes. This one kind of takes itself a little too seriously and goes the Bullet Train route. I don't like Bullet Train. I hated Bullet Train, but I will say this. Bullet Train is Bullet Train is not only a lot better than this movie, but everything I hated about Bullet Train, I really, really hate about this movie. I mean, like I said, this movie takes itself a little, like, way too seriously. Now, as far as the first 20 minutes goes, first 20 minutes is the most entertaining part of the film. Sets everything up. It shows you Dave Bautista and Sofia Boutella's relationship. You get to the point where he makes the contract. I mean, all of that setup is really cool, and there are some really cool kills throughout the film, somewhat. But in the first 20 minutes especially, I'm thinking to myself, okay, at least if this movie isn't going to be, like one of the best action movies I've seen, there will just be some cool kills. That stops after a while, and I'll kind of just be going back and forth as far as like comparing this movie to Bullet Train, because this is literally the same movie minus a briefcase. It's just like twisted around a little bit, just with the fact that this is test results for this guy, but it's assassins basically coming after these guys and the world's best killers. It's literally the same movie, and it's just not located on a train. But God, guys, this movie's just really bad. Like, after the first 20 minutes, I felt like the movie just completely decided not to try anymore. The dialogue somehow got a lot worse, and it wasn't that good to begin with. It was really like cheesy 70s action kind of dialogue, which I was all for in the beginning, because I'm thinking the movie's just going to be one of those things where you can turn your brain off and just watch some really cool action sequences with some really cheesy dialogue. But the dialogue gets worse. The action scenes get less intense. The more characters that show up, the more annoyed you get. It's like Bullet Train, at least all the characters and their wacky decisions, some people liked. I was not a fan of Lemon and Tangerine's dynamic at all. Hated Zazie Beetz, hated Bad Bunny. Yeah, basically, if you like Bullet Train, maybe you'll like this movie, but I highly doubt it. But I didn't like Bullet Train, and it just reminded me of that the entire time. But I can wholeheartedly say that Bullet Train is a much better movie than this one. This one is truly, I gotta look at this cast, because this might be a low point for a lot of these actors. I don't know about Sofia Boutella, because which is worse? Y'all let me know in the comments. Is The Mummy with Tom Cruise worse than this movie? If you've seen The Killer's Game, or if you've seen The Killer's Game, or if you've seen The Mummy, which one is worse? because I'm not sure which one I'm not sure which one is the low point for Sofia Boutella. But Dave Bautista, this is a low point for him. Palm Klementov, you are way too talented. You and Dave Bautista, y'all way too talented to be in shit like this. And Ben Kingsley as well. But I know he's just at the age where he's just doing shit to collect a check, and you can tell. But he's having some fun. Terry Crews. I don't know who wrote Terry Crews' character, but I don't think either it's Michael Jai White or it's a white guy. Like it's literally no in between. It's either it's Michael Jai White that wrote Terry Crews' character, or it's a white guy who just doesn't understand black people at all. Because they chose every single cliche in the book for this character, and Terry Crews is I say he's doing it well, but that only lasts for maybe like 5 minutes. Then after a while, you just get really annoyed. And in movies like this, like I said, when you have the whole world's best assassins all coming after you cliche, and you're introduced to more and more characters as the movie goes out or the movie goes on, you would think these characters at least bring some sort of energy and some sort of something to the film. Yeah, these killers all get worse somehow. Literally, the more killers that get introduced, it just gets worse and worse. However, George Somner, who played Palm Klementov's cousin in the movie, he was actually really good. I actually really liked his part. I thought he was the most entertaining part of the movie. I felt like Dave Bautista was sleepwalking through this thing, truly. Because why not? I felt like they were just sleepwalking through this entire thing. The kills in this movie are highly unsatisfying. It's just I'm literally sitting there with a straight face. Now, some stuff kind of like grosses you out. Like I said, there are some cool kills throughout the movie, but you literally have to like pick them out, and it's not a lot of them at the end of the day. There's probably maybe like a body count of 70 or 80 bodies. You'll probably say 6 of them were cool kills, and the rest were just very underwhelming. Look, guys, don't go watch The Killer's Game. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is easily one of the worst movies of the year. It is. I mean, I could sit here and compare it to other bad movies that came out this year, but we'll just wait for my worst list at this point. But this is truly a terrible movie, and Bullet Train made my worst list of 2022. I believe that's when that came out. So I know for a fact this movie will definitely be on it. But like I said, guys, Bullet Train is a lot better than this. I just didn't like Bullet Train for whatever reason. I just thought it took itself a little way too seriously, and that's really what this movie does. Like it just takes itself way too seriously. That premise is supposed to be much more comedic, and you really had the actors to be able to pull this thing off, as far as Dave Bautista and Terry Crews and Palm Klementov and Ben Kingsley. But everybody else that shows up, minus Sofia Boutella, because I think she is a really good actor. It's so crazy. Please, somebody let me know, but Sofia Boutella's best role might be Kingsman, and she doesn't talk in that movie. But I do like Sofia Boutella, but she doesn't talk in that movie, and that might be her best role. But regardless, guys, look, The Killer's Game is a waste of your time. So don't go watch it. If you have seen it, I'm so sorry. But we're in this together. But overall, guys, I'm going to go ahead and give The Killer's Game a 1 out of 5 stars. I lied. Sofia Boutella's best role might be Star Trek Beyond. Some might argue Atomic Blonde. I personally didn't like her in Atomic Blonde, but Star Trek Beyond I think would be her best role. But regardless of that, The Killer's Game. Have you seen it? I'm sorry. But regardless, let me know in the comments what you guys thought about it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff and so much more, though. Look, this is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.